As promised in the last video, I will give the tour of the house now. This is the perspective when you enter from outside. And this is the living room, kitchen island that I did use a couple of weeks doing. And the living space which we hopefully in the future can make breakfast for our bed and breakfast guests. And yeah, this is it. Everything was orange back when we got the house, and now it's, in our opinion, a bit better with the white on the walls. And this is the kitchen, the oven that we found, and this was already here. We just put in a new dishwasher. And this is our little TV, living room and office. This is the bathroom where I just put up new furniture, and that was pretty much it. It was renovated 4 years ago, so it's actually a pretty fine bathroom. The thing that I'm mostly proud of is the shower curtain, because I made this one myself. It was a fun project. It snapped, so it looks like it's 2 bamboo sticks, so that wasn't the point, but I actually kind of like it now. Our guest room, where obviously our guest sleeps, also painted white. I struggled a bit with the wall here because it kept scaling off, but this was where the previous owners, they slept, and that just means there's a lot of humidity during winter and the paint kept scaling off, but it turned out pretty great. And this is our bedroom, which we primarily chose because there's a higher ceiling, and we are guessing that this room is going to be the coldest during the very, very hot summer, which hasn't really properly started yet because the summer hasn't hit yet. We haven't had days with more than 30 degrees, so that's nice for now because I like it in the 20s. And this is the entrance for another basement, which once was stables for cows, which I'm planning to turn into a workshop where I can do my work. Especially during winter, it's going to be nice, so I have a place inside to work once we've renovated the top floor of our not so tiny house. A lot of old furniture, and you've got the feeding trough for the cows over there, and yeah, a lot of moisture here because the roof on the 2 rooms in the tiny house, they are not perfectly sealed, which means there's water getting in here. But that will probably be solved once we get a new roof on top, which should be soon. We're still waiting for the permissions from the commune. And in there, behind those tree bars, I plan to do our heating room. And this is the cellar room. I want to do the heating system. Again, I'm sorry about the mess, but there's all other pressing projects that need taken care of before we can get to this. But a cleanup shouldn't be that bad. You know when to start and you know when you're finished. Entrance to the basement from the street, the little small street where only small Fiat Pandas can go. This is also a mess, but you have a corridor down here and you have a room in there, and then the rest of the basement down there. A lot of mess, but we're in between cleanups, and yeah, a lot of stuff needs to be done. This is the little cellar room. Not much to say, this is probably the one we cleaned up the best, because there was a lot of the furniture was standing here, the ones I used for the kitchen island, so yes. And this is the last little part of the cellar. It used to be a stairway up here, up into the courtyard, but it's been closed off because of the bathroom, I think. That's the reason. This is the entrance for our tiny house. You've seen this a lot because this is where I work when it rains, and the first rooms I cleaned when we took over and when I started working on the house. This is the big room where we plan to do the kitchen, here in front of the windows, and up here is going to be an attic, maybe for sleeping or for guest sleeping, or just to use the space better, because over here you have around 5 meters up until the roof, and we can put, when you build a new roof, you can put an extra 20-30 centimeters, which gives us a decent amount of leeway to the ceiling. So that's going to be very nice with a new roof. And here we're going to have the kitchen with a nice view of the mountains, and I'll have to figure out some cool way to combine the kitchen with the stairwell to the attic, which is kind of the fun challenge about a tiny house, is to use the space as best as possible, and that's going to be a challenge I really look forward to. But waiting for the commune to give us the permission. And this is the other room in our tiny house, and this is a bit smaller than the other one, but still pretty sizable. It's nice. And we're gonna have the attic up here, and it's gonna be on top of the bathroom. Yeah, nothing much to say, and I'll probably make an office in here as well. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of our house, and I'll see you next week with a proper week of work. We're in Denmark this week, that's why it's such a short video, but I thought I'd just put it into perspective for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. See you next week.